Hey, what's up, my fucking fellow DJs? It's your boy at Mushroom Philly, and I got my man next to me. Everybody knows who he is. That's my man, MMA Propaholic. I'm glad he's my first guest. It's awesome. I've known Brandon for a while through the chats. Glad to finally get to speak to the guy. He's a sharp motherfucker. If you don't follow him, you probably should. Just follow him on Twitter. You can follow him he has his own YouTube show. He's just starting to do full card breakdowns now. It's awesome. The guy is sharp as fuck. So glad to have him on my show. Hopefully, we can bring some fucking class to this fucking joint, but we'll see.
Hell yeah, man. I'm very excited for this card. Mostly have a bet on every fight, and I'm considering adding about 3 to 4 more bets, and I'm very excited to do this stream with you, Mushroom.
Thank you.
We did a show with Couch Warrior, which I thought was very fun, but now it's just us two.
Yep.
Sorry, Couch Warrior. You're not here this time, but I'm really excited, man. This is a heavy prop card for me. Only one money line bet for me on this card, but I'm hyped, man. Let's dig right into it.
Yeah, let's dig into it. In fact, you know what? You're a guest, so I'm going to let you go with the first fight, the Jacqueline Amorum versus Sam Hughes. You could start us off if you like.
Yeah, I do like Jacqueline in this spot. I like her, obviously, by submission. If I was to play Jacqueline, though, I would play her 1-2 prop on DraftKings. Pretty sure you can get, like, around plus 120 there. I just don't think if this fight gets into the third round, like, I have never seen her past the first round. I don't know how she's going to be. And we know Sam Hughes is good for her cardio. She showed it in the Pinheiro fight on a 5-day short notice. I know Pinheiro gasses, but she has really strong explosive judo throws, and she throws with tons of power and tons of combinations. So Sam was able to deal with the adversity well in that fight, and she didn't look bad against Rodriguez as well. And what I see with Sam Hughes is that her get-up game isn't very bad. And what I've been seeing on her Instagram, I've been searching on Instagram, she's practicing a lot of guard defense. Like, I see her throwing elbows in the defense. I see her trying to throw up triangles and stuff. Maybe she's going to try to come in with a heavy defensive guard game, but I do like Jacqueline early. I wouldn't really touch her in round 3, but yeah, I like Jacqueline rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's a good call. At the end of this, I'm going to end up going to Jacqueline. I like the knockout man. I get scared these knockout props all the time, and then they get the sub. But yeah, I do like your play. Definitely inside the distance. Look, Jacqueline, she has no losses. She's a good prospect, in my opinion. I think she's got a pretty high level slick grappling. She got some power in her hands. Good BJJ, does those judo blast doubles. I think she's dangerous on the ground, to be honest with you. Like you said about the sub, man, she's good. Good transitions. She's always winning by finish. She's not letting these girls hang around. But then again, it goes to your point about the third round. Like, who knows what she's going to look like if somehow Sam Hughes weathers the storm. Also with Jacqueline, though, she's not very technical. And again, not the best at getting takedowns. Not the best wrestler. She's good when it's down there, but not the best wrestler. On the Sam Hughes side, I think she's got a decent jab. She's a high striker. She's aggressive with some volume and some pace. She got those elbows in the clinch. She's added a wrinkle of wrestling to her game, and she's just okay at everything, though. It's not like there's one spot or any spot where she shines the most. She's kind of just okay. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough here. I think Jacqueline's a prospect. I don't think they're trying to showcase Hughes here. I think this is the UFC showcasing their up-and-coming prospect is what I think is going to happen here. And it's going to happen inside the distance, but I really do love this because she is deadly on the ground.
I'm looking at this from a betting perspective, from a live bet. Like, I think I'm going to live Sam Hughes after round 1 and just see how Jacqueline is reacting. If she can't get the takedowns early and we see her on the feet and Sam's pressuring her, and we can get an even number on Sam Hughes, I just really think that's a really high value play. Like, it could be like a Juliana Miller versus Veronica Hardy spot. It could be just like that. And whoever had Veronica Hardy, that was the sharpest bet of the whole entire year. You cashed a plus 350 bet. So congrats to anyone who had Veronica Hardy. Yeah, man, this is women's MMA. This is a big line, and Jacqueline's making her debut. So it's scary, man. I don't have a bet on this fight, but I think she gets the job done here, though.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next one. Shalon Norbecki versus Steve Garcia. I'm going to start this off. Let's start off with the Shalon side. He's a strong grappler. He's athletic. He's got some power in his hands. He's got good striking up close. He backs up the cage. He gets his takedowns. He's averaging like 3 takedowns a fight. He's got good ground and pound and top pressure when he gets it down there, and he can get subs as well. There are some red flags on his side. He can be low volume. He's got a negative strike differential. He can get reversed on the ground too sometimes. He puts himself in some bad positions as well. And get Ron Zhu knocking him the fuck out. Not a good look. He's super takedown reliant with a 33% takedown accuracy. Now, on the other side of this fight, when you got Garcia, he's a well-rounded guy. He's a striker. He comes forward, speed, power, pace, some pressure. He's got some straight punches, but he can also throw bombs, and then get you into some takedowns. He's a good grappler when he gets down there. He's got a tough, portable. He can get a sub from his back. He's only been knocked out once. He is hittable. He does get knocked down a bunch. He hasn't been knocked out yet, but he does get knocked down. He does sometimes tend to get stuck on his back. He's got 100% takedown defense, but take that with a grain of salt because I think that's over a 2-fight sample size. So I wouldn't be that impressed. But I mean, if he can keep it at 75% against his 33%, that might be enough to keep this off the ground. I'm actually going to go. I think I'm actually going to take the shot. I was at first thinking Norbecki by decision, but I looked at this and I'm kind of liking the Garcia side a little bit. And Norbecki likes to lose by fucking finish. He likes to get finished. I mean, he has a couple of decision losses, but the guy must enjoy getting finished as a result of him losing a fight because that's what happens most of the time. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened here. Again, not a bet, but if I had to take a pick, if I maybe make a prediction on this fight, I think Garcia could do it. And I think he could catch him and possibly get it inside the distance. What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And this was the very first fight that I actually taped for this card, and I saw the under 2.5, that plus 145, and I absolutely just snagged it. Like I was completely shocked that they're giving plus 145 and under 2.5 in a Steve Garcia fight. It was very mind blowing. And he has very great submission defense as well. Like, he was controlled for about 12.5 minutes up a weight class on short notice on his debut against Luis Pena. And Luis Pena is like a very good jiu-jitsu black belt, and he was just doing a bunch of back takes. Nurenbeku's not doing back takes. He's shooting double legs from far from out. He wants to get you up against the cage. That's where he gets most of his takedowns. And, guys, Steve Garcia has a 6-inch reach advantage in this spot, and he hits like an absolute truck. He throws in combinations, and he said that he is going to pressure Nurenbeku, and he knows Nurenbeku is going to try to wrestle him. Both have under 50% striking defense. I see this fight honestly ending in the very first round. Like, Steve Garcia has wrestling, and he can back it up. Like, he has pretty good takedown defense on his regional scene. I see his takedown defense holding up, and Nurenbeku is a pretty good wrestler on China top team. Shoots a bunch of explosive double legs, kind of gasses himself in the process because he's putting all his muscles into these takedowns and holding up his opponents up against the fence. But yeah, man, both of these guys are flat-footed. They swing wild, and they both leave themselves open to counters. I think this is violence all day in this spot. I love violence. Even under 2.5 right now at minus 150, I think it's a great fight because the only reason why I completely understand why people aren't taking the under 2.5 is because Shylan could come out here and try to take Luis past the resistance, but he just doesn't have the cardio to do it for 15 minutes. He doesn't at all. And I just don't see it happening here. So, yeah, I'm taking Steve Garcia to win this fight, and I think he knocks Shylan out in the first round. Steve Garcia, round 1 KO is plus 1,000 right now.
Wow.
A little stab at that as well and add to this fight. For 10th of the unit to win a full unit. Yeah,
why not? That's a great play. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with a lot of your points. I think you hit it right on the head. Well, look, that's 2 fights down so far, and we seem to be in agreement so far. Let's move on up the card. I'm gonna let you start this one off. It's Ignacio Bahamondes versus Trey Ogden. Brandon, your thoughts?
Yeah, so Baumondez fights just like Zellhuber, and what I like about Trey Ogden is a tape nerd, and he said that he's gonna come out and fully try to wrestle Baumondez, and we haven't seen Baumondez in a year, and I see his line now is -410, which I just think is
Ooh.
crazy to lay on the guy. I think this fight's gonna go to decision, and there was a prop that stuck out to me. The fight to end by submission/decision was -175 on DraftKings. Like Trey Hawkins never been knocked out.
Right.
Bahamondes doesn't really have high knockout power. It's just high volume. And I could see Trey Ogden maybe fading late, but Trey Ogden has been submitted 3 times, which is on his record, 2 by guillotine against Thomas Gifford. And then he's been submitted by rear naked choke. And yeah, Bahamondes is very high volume, throws tons of kicks, and I don't know. Trey Hawkins' striking does scare me. I mean, 50 leg kicks against Zellhuber. Like, he's not doing that against Bahamondes without getting counterpunched and from reach. So, yeah, I think the over's live here. And I think the fight to end by split decision is a very good spot here. Just because I can see Trey Ogden maybe wrestling Bahamondes for the first round, really not doing a lot with damage. And Bahamondes maybe lighting him up in the second round, and then Ogden's wrestling, succeeding in the third round. But yeah, I gave out a prop yesterday on my full card breakdown, and I think I'm going to take a little stab at it. Mushroom, I think I'm going to take Ogden by split decision. I don't know what the prop is going to be at. I'm waiting on William Hill to drop it for me, but I think I'm going to take a little stab at it. I think I might get 33-1 on it.
Wow. That's really good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I actually think this fight goes to decision myself. I am on the other side of the fight, however. Look, you make a lot of good points. I don't think this is, and again, my reasoning for thinking it's going to go to decision. I don't think one guy's going to finish the other. And I don't know that one guy is way more dominant than the other here. I'm going to start with, let's go with the Ignacio side. Let's start off there. I mean, look, he's big for the division. He's got power in his hands. He's a diverse striker. Vine's got some pace. He's good at range. He uses his length well. He's got a decent chin, head movement, things like that. Good footwork. He's fought some decent regional competition, in my opinion. I mean, he has a decent takedown defense, too. I know, if Ivan comes out and tries to wrestle, I mean, I'm wondering because he also has good sprawls. He's got a good get-up game, and he's durable, man. He's got his own series of front chokes as well. A lot more UFC experience. He does have that year layoff, and he gets bloodied up like a motherfucker. He was hard way for a couple months.
He fights close every fight, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, he bleeds like nobody's business. So that's and he has poor striking defense, which isn't good when you bleed. You know what I'm saying? So I mean. God, even just talking about it now, just those couple points that I brought up, that's almost making me think like, man, maybe Ogden is the side because I mean these judges are definitely going to go on visual. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Once some guys clearly winning a fucking fight, maybe there's a lot, but that fucking blood is enough for them to fucking really sway them to that one side. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, you might have talked me into that fucking bet on the other side, and especially that split, because I think it's going to be close. Like I said, I don't think anybody's going to be way more dominant than the other one in this fight. Ogden's a good striker, good grappler as well. He's got decent fight IQ. He's got the leg kicks. He's durable as well. Yeah, I see this going. But I just don't think that Ogden is the best wrestler. And now he's cutting weight 2 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But, the catch weight does kind of favor him. The UFC kind of said, yeah, we're not going to make you cut the lightweight. I mean, you kind of got screwed out of your fight against Torres. But, dude, Ogden at +310 and knowing how he's tape nerd, he's very good fight IQ. He has the wrestling. It's crazy because he had the confidence to go on the ground with Jordan Levitt. And Jordan Levitt is a high premier black belt.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
I understand Bahamondes is a reach here, but that's why I said fight to end by submission/decision. I see I would maybe assume maybe 65% of this fight taking place in the grappling and wrestling instead of Bahamondes just trying to unleash hell with body kicks.
Wow.
So yeah, man, I just think this fight's going to be closer than a lot of people think, and I would stay far away from Bahamondes as a parlay piece. You guys do not want to parlay a guy who fights close at -400 and eats a substantial amount of damage. It's just not smart. But he is training with Bilal Muhammad now, so I think he's like working on the wrestling defense and the wrestling game. And yeah, man, this is a great fight. I'm happy that Bahamondes got a fight, and I'm happy that Agun got a fight, and it was about like 2 weeks separated from their cards. So I'm hyped.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna stick with my Bahamondes. The fucking blood. That's the one thing that got me.
Yeah.
It's the bleeding, man. He looks fucking bleed.
Can Agun make anyone bleed on the feet though? Like, I don't even know. Like, does he have pillow fists? Like, I don't really see him throw his hands at all. It's just right kicks. But
yeah,
hey man, he's a smart fighter, so
yeah. All right, we're gonna move on up the card to Cynthia Calvillo against Loopy. I'll take this one, I guess. I'm not really interested in it. Fucking women's MMA again. Here the fuck we go. And Loopy look fucking, you know what I mean? It cost me some money. Let's start on the Calvillo side. First of all, the line is way too fucking wide, in my opinion. She's a good grappler. You know, she gets some takedowns. She's an okay striker, in my opinion. I don't know if she's great. Her losses are to some decent competition, but she's taken some damage over in her career, and she's kind of slow, in my opinion, kind of pillow-fisted. I think she has a little bit of quit in her, too, to be honest with you. And she doesn't react. She doesn't react well to getting punched in the face. And that's going to happen in a fucking MMA fight. You're probably going to get punched in your face. You should probably react a little bit better. It's probably happened many, many times. She's a bad nail. Also, she seems to be declining. And what the fuck? Is she even going to be making weight? Are we wasting our breath talking about this fight? Is this bitch even going to make weight? Seriously. And then on the Loopy side, like I said, disappointing performance. You know, costing people money. I mean, she's big, strong. She's got a little bit of power in her hands. She's got some pressure. She's a good wrestler. She's got that bully style. She's big for her weight class. She's gritty. She's got good takedown defense, but man, again, that Hill, man, God, it's just she looks so fucking bad. Like I thought she was going to run through Hill. Man, she looked fucking terrible. I just can't get that shit out of my head. But that being said, I'm still going to go on the Loopy side, and I think it's going to be by decision. I see some short people out there taking Loopy by knockout or something like that, but yeah. I'm going to stick with the decision. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on this fight?
Dude, I think Calvillo's done, man. Coming back to strawweight, and she could barely make it before, and now at 35 on a 4-fight losing streak, and she looked bad against Nina Nunes, man. Like, Nina Nunes looked faster. And she didn't go until the wrestling to like the end of the second round. It was just a really kind of like piss poor performance, if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. And even the Lee fight, like she just quit. She didn't even want to get up out of her corner. Her corner was telling her to get up and keep fighting. She's like, no, I don't want to fight. I'm done. She couldn't find an answer at all. She just wants to stand on the feet and like bang. And guys, she's a good submission grappler. Like if Godinez like wants to get this fight to the ground, she could be in trouble with the BJJ, but like, dude, I think Godinez is gonna honestly destroy her, and I think Godinez round 3 TKO at plus 2,800 is just so live, and I even think her KO at 9-1, dude. She throws bombs, and I think we're giving her like a lot of hate. Like Angela Hill is looked great recently, and she's a way better striker, and Cynthia Calvillo is, especially, and they're like kind of the same age right now too. So, dude, I think Godinez is gonna run through. Like, she's now like what, like 7 UFC fights she now has? Yeah, no, she's 3-3 in the UFC, but like the loss to Carolina was just concerning to me. Like, I think Carolina's pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure that was up a weight class as well, and she fought, I'm pretty sure, like a week before that. So that fight was on like a 6 days notice after having a full training camp for another fight. So yeah, man, I'm more than likely gonna parlay Godinez. I don't want to do it, but I think she runs through. I think she runs through here, man. And I'm considering the fight doesn't go, just in case if Calvillo gets her in a spot on the ground and she gets an armbar, or I have the backup with knowing that Godinez is gonna throw bombs. Calvillo doesn't react with the shots. She's probably going to come in looking really shitty with a weight cut. So I think the KO for Godinez is probably the best bet on this whole entire fight. If you guys want to just be a fucking degenerate like me and bet low, I'm probably going to take the stab at it, honestly, because why not?
You know, I heard you mention, yeah.
I'm just going to fade the shit out of her. As Clint said on Monday on Die Hard MMA podcast, like, he made a very good point, and he kind of really is like, making me kind of take this bet. So shout out to you, Clint, because your breakdown was very accurate on this fight. So shout out to you, man.
And shout out to my guys at the Chronic Cowbat Conversations. This past weekend, I actually ran into them. We went to a Cage Fury Fight Club event here in Philadelphia, and it was fucking awesome. And speaking of UFC events, I don't know if anybody else out there knows this, but me and this gentleman right here are going to be at UFC 288. We're like 7 fucking rows from the cage. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have plenty of video, plenty of beers. It's going to be a good fucking time. That's all I know. So I'm excited.
Plaster, man. Plaster cashing some tickets and some violence, man. Nothing better than that, man. Nothing better than that.
Love it. I'm excited. Yeah. Okay. I think we're pretty much good with that fight. Let's move on up the card to the next fight. Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. You want to start us off?
Yeah. I bet the fight doesn't go in -110 on DraftKings. Carl Williams stepping in on short notice. Chase Sherman is an absolute lost fish on the ground. Has absolutely zero ground game. When anyone's taken him down to the ground, he's been finished on the ground. And Carl Williams had his hands on his knees in the 3rd round against Brzezinski. And Chase Sherman, 15 of his 16 wins by knockout. And why did Chase Sherman accept this fight? Probably because he wants to come in here and bring some violence. He worked his ass off. He trained the whole camp, but he trained for Pat Barnett. He was not training for takedown defense, wasn't training getting up off his back. So I can see Carl Williams, if he even gets him down on the first takedown and just advances position and has been working on his damage. He's gonna.
Oh, you keep cutting out. Oh, there you are.
What's
You're
up?
back. You cut out first. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I really like violence here. It's just crazy to me how it's -110. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, because especially with the short notice aspect as well for Williams. And we know what Sherman's like on the ground. He's got terrible fucking defense on the ground. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with I like Carl Williams. He's a real good wrestler. Look, he changes takedowns. He gets control time. I think he only lost by sub maybe. But dude, I think he's gonna fucking ragdoll Sherman. I don't think Sherman's gonna have any answer for him just getting fuck around, taking down, and he does whatever he wants him down there. And I wouldn't be surprised if it ends inside the distance. And I actually do like Carl Williams actually inside the distance. Like I said, I think once it gets on the ground, Sherman is a fish out of fucking water, and I don't think he knows what to do, and he's just going to get his fucking back of his head planted in the fucking goals, or he's going to roll over, give his back, and get choked out.
It's so crazy because, dude, you have 14 UFC fights on your resume. You don't know how to fucking defend a takedown or have a ground game to even get up. It's like, it's just concerning, and I see people are taking a shot on Chase Sherman, like, I don't even hate it. Like, honestly, like, I don't hate it at all. Because let's say Williams gets the takedowns in the 1st round and Sherman keeps getting up. Williams is on short notice. Like, and this is easily, like, guys, he used to fight at 205. He's at heavyweight. And Chase Sherman, low level, we know. But what do we know that the guy has? Power. 15 of his 16 wins. Again, I'm going to say by knockout. So it's just completely mind-blowing. If Carl Williams doesn't finish this fight, he's not getting a finish. Ever. Just ever.
Right. If he's going to get the finish, this is the fight he's going to get the fucking finish.
Like, this is one of my more confident bets of the card. I'm considering adding another unit to it. Like, I really like this spot. Like, it's heavyweight, but, dude, like, I just feel like there's so many more opportunities for the fight ending inside a distance than it going to decision, and it's even money. So I just had for that, dude.
I agree. I love it. Love everything you said. Great breakdown. All right, so we're gonna move on up the card. You got Gerald Meerschaert versus Joe Pfeiffer. I'm gonna start this one off. Right a bet, you got to say an auto bet is GM3 sub. It's an auto bet. If you sprinkle it, whatever you do, that's a fucking auto bet in his fights. On his side, look, he's a good grappler. He gets control time, gets sweeps, he hunts for subs. He's got a variety of them. He's got wins and losses to good competition. 33 career finishes, I think, throughout his whole career. You know, I think he has 17 UFC fights or something. He's got a bunch of finishes in those. Out of those 33, it's like 27-6 or something like that. Great cardio. And man, if you make a mistake, he's gonna fucking grab your neck or he's gonna fucking grab something. He's gonna get you. He's fucking hittable though, man. And he is a non-existent right hand defense. He can't see the fucking right hand coming. I don't know what the fuck it is. He can't see a right hand to save his life or to save his fucking chin, for that matter. He's losing a lot of fights until he's winning. He's a good grappler, but sometimes he has a problem getting it there. He's not the best offensive wrestler. Now, on the other side of this fight, you got out of Gracie Gym, Philly, baby, represent Joe Pfeiffer. You know, Dana White said, "B Joe Pfeiffer." I'm just going to add a T to that. Bet Joe Pfeiffer is what Mushroom says. Look, he's got power. He's got power in both hands. And that right is going to catch Meerschaert because he never sees the fucking right coming. Look, he's still improving. Pressure, but he's patient. Got a good 1-2. Does that body work. Gracie Gym Philly, love it, baby. So he's in with some serious grapplers. I think he's going to be improving that as we go along. He tossed Eric Andrews the fuck around. I mean, look, he hasn't been out of round 2 since 2018. He hasn't fought the best competition, I'll say. And, God, he lost to Stoltzfus on fucking Dana White Contender Series. All that being said, though, this only leads me to one thing. I think it's Joe Pfeiffer knockout is going to be my play. I'm actually going to put that as one of my official picks. I think I might have it already. If not, I'm going to probably add it. So I like Pfeiffer by knockout. He could get a sub. I always play inside the distance to be safe on a couple parlays or whatever, but no. I like him by knockout. What are your thoughts?
He better not fucking go for a submission or even go near this guy in the fucking grappling. I'm going to punch my television. I'm going to punch my goddamn television. I swear, man. As you said, like, Gerald Meerschaert can't react to a fucking right hand. It's shown on the film so many times. Like, Muradov almost had him out of there, but Muradov just death-gassed himself. And what did Muradov do? Got himself right into position for Gerald Meerschaert to grab his back. And what happened in the Soul Fight fight? Meerschaert's losing the whole fight and pulls another one out of his ass. And I really think we're overrating the performance against Bruno Silva. Guys, that card was in San Diego. It kind of was that elevation, and Bruno Silva looked fucking drunk in there when he was fighting. I had him by knockout. I had no idea what the hell he was doing. I was so shocked. It was piss poor performance. He didn't even look like he wanted to be out there at all. I think Piper's boxing is just, I think it's next level. I think this guy's going to be a problem in this division. And I just think Meerschaert's chin, he doesn't react well to right hands at all. And Piper thinks that 1-2 right hand every single time, and he's in the pocket. And Meerschaert doesn't really have, like, great wrestling to get the fight to the ground. He kind of lets people come to him so he can get the opportunistic finish. Like, guy has 27 wins by submission. He's more of an opportunistic guy than he is of a heavy wrestler. So I did parlay Joe Pfeiffer. If you guys do follow me on Twitter, this is week number 2 of me and Pick by Pegasus' collab. And yeah, we got Joe Pfeiffer money line in there. And with another fight that I got parlayed later on this card. So yeah, I think Pfeiffer by knockout. I think he gets it done in the first 2 rounds. Unless he makes a fucking stupid mistake and gets himself into a spot with Meerschaert. But it's him all day in this spot, man. I'm really confident in the guy.
I agree. Absolutely. Philly represent Gracie Gym, baby. Let's fucking have it.
Let's go.
All right, so our next fight is Michelle Waterson versus Luana Pinheiro. You're up, prop.
Yeah, so I bet the dog here. This is my first money line bet of the card. I bet Waterson Gomez at plus 146. Pinero's not hasn't really seen the fight style and the experience of Gomez. Like Gomez karate style fighter. Can we just please take off the Carla Esparza split decision loss? And please, like, what fucking judge gave Carla Esparza a 30-27 in that fight? I have absolutely, like, judging, I guess, has always been bad. I started watching UFC in, like, early of, like, 2022. So I had never seen this fight before until I watched the film. But I really like the movement of Gomez. She throws a bunch of kicks to the body. She throws a bunch of leg kicks. And Pinheiro just kind of storms in there, runs in, and leaves herself open to counters. Yes, she has high-level judo throws, and she's very strong in the pocket when she gets the fight into the clinch. But Gomez has seen this so many times throughout her career. But yeah, Pinheiro is the stronger fighter, but she has really bad cardio, man. She has all these explosive, like, judo throws, and she kind of tends to gas herself. And I thought Randall Marcos was going to win that fight. Pinheiro looked gassed, and Sam Hughes on 5 days' notice before going to Fortis MMA took that third round against her. So I just think Gomez, man, like, she was beating Lemos. She was up, and she took her down and just got herself caught in the guillotine. And her loss before that was against Marina Rodriguez in a 5-round fight. So it's just like she's facing the way better competition, 17 more professional fights, way better technical striker on the feet, and has good takedown defense, and even has wrestling in her background as well. So I just saw that plus 146 number, and I had to take a bet. Only 0.40 units here. Didn't heavily expose myself because it's women's MMA, but I do like my dog bet here.
You know, I like it as well. I'm going to be on the Waterson side myself. Look, she's going to be taller for once in this one. How about that? I think she's well-rounded, and she's a good, karate-style striker. Kicks at distance. She keeps range. I think she's got the better skill set. She's fought the better competition, like you said. She can wrestle. She's a BJJ brown belt. I think her wrestling and grappling is underrated. Look, I know she's had some losses, but she's not losing these fucking any bullshit competition for real. Her losses look kind of good. You know what I'm saying? They're not the worst losses to have. You can lose to a lot worse fucking people than she has. Her 33% takedown accuracy, a little shaky. 37 years old, women's MMA, even more shaky. Kind of fights close, but loses. A lot of things you want to look out for. But I'm not super impressed with Luana. I think she's an okay striker. She's got some power in her hands, obviously. Comes forward. She can throw some combos. She's got a 77% takedown accuracy, so, she's got a high-level judo. She's good in the clinch. But I don't think she's fought the best competition. Nothing compared to what Waterson's fought. This is a step up, in my opinion. And like you said, her fucking cardio. Because she is going to come out balls to wall. Probably another good live betting spot here. Because she's going to probably come out. Maybe she, clips Waterson early, or she just looks like, way better fighter with striking in the beginning. And I don't know, though, man. Waterson's been in there with some, tough pitches. So, I'm going with you as far as the pick with Waterson. I think she wins a decision here. Never been impressed with Pinheiro to begin with. I think we agree on that one.
The distance striking is going to be a huge problem for Pinheiro as well, because she likes to be in close all the time. And I'm telling you, Mushroom, all you have to do, just keep throwing that front kick to the body, and she will break down, man. She will show a lot of desperate combinations in this fight, because Gomez is going to invest in that body very early, and it's going to take over in the first round.
I like it. Okay, moving on up the card, we got Chris Curtis versus Kevin Gastelum. I'm going to start this one off. I guess we'll start off on the Gastelum side. 1-4 in his last 5. But again, not losing to the worst competition. He's got power in his hands, some volume. He can pressure you, comes forward. He can win some minutes. He got good leg kicks. Cardio, great. You know, he's been 5 rounders and stuff. He can wrestle. Not bad at it. You know, he's a good wrestler. He can get takedowns. Uh, he gets knocked down, but he's very recoverable. His recent losses are to good competition, in my opinion. Like I said, mostly, I think 3 of them have been on short notice. 2 or 3 of them been on short notice. But he has taken a lot of damage as well. He's taken a lot of fucking damage, man. And he's had a lot of injuries in the last couple of years, too, as well. So, you know, a couple of red flags on that side. And Chris Curtis, on the other hand, he's a decent striker. He's got clean, short punches. He's a good counter puncher. He's got some power in his hands. You know, he's a decision kind of guy. I don't know if he has that one-shot knockout. He does do body work pretty well. Got leg kicks. He's got good timing. Keeps moving. Good takedown defense. I don't know if he has or hasn't been taken down in the UFC. I'm not sure.
Perfect, 100% takedown defense.
He's durable. He's got a good chin. He's got cardio. It's the low volume. And he's not the best against guys that, you know, grapple and stuff. So there are paths for Gastelum to win this fight, but I think Curtis will still have the moments. Like I said, Curtis likes to do that body work, and Gastelum's got that long fucking torso. It's just waiting to be fucking punched. I don't know that he finishes him, but I am going to go Curtis by decision as my pick. Nothing official as a bet, but I would, you know, if I was going to pick it, that's my prediction for the fight, Curtis by decision. How about you?
Yeah, I got Curtis scorecards equals no action and -125. I don't think there's any finish up right for Gastelum in this fight at all, because the way he's going to fight is the way that Jack Hermanson fought him. And I think we're giving Curtis a lot of shit for that. Like, Curtis did fly down to London, took it short notice, like he takes every fight on short notice, and has done it, he's won 3 times as a dog on short notice, I'm pretty sure, in the UFC. Now he has a full training camp coming in against Gastelum, who we haven't seen in about, a year and a half now. And his chin has been kind of getting checked recently. I understand that it's against Whitaker and it's against Jared, but, like, I'm pretty sure that Gastelum got knocked down twice in that fight, and they only listed it as 1. I could have sworn he got knocked down twice in that fight. I love Curtis's boxing. Curtis is very close range power. He has the 4-inch reach advantage as well. And I think Curtis knows that. Gastelum's just going to try to skirt the outside. Curtis is going to try to take the right angles to get in front of him so he can land his heavy power. And yeah, Chris Curtis, 3 of his 4 wins in the UFC are by knockout. And the only other win by decision was against Vieira, who tried to take him down over 20 times. I don't think Gastelum's getting him down. Gastelum's last win in the UFC was from his wrestling against Ian Hindsight and Mushroom. Before that, his last win was against Souza in 2018 by split decision. He had to use his wrestling against Ian Hindsight to win, and that was in 2021. So before that, even using his wrestling, his last win is in 2018. I feel like this is just a really good spot for Curtis, man. I think lots of people are sleeping on him because of the Hermanson fight and how he dealt with the movement. He's now with Strickland, and he actually was training with Buckley as well coming for this upcoming camp, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, man, and he has a lot of fire coming into this fight. He was on the main card. He got demoted against Rosas, and I saw the week that he kind of got demoted, and he was talking a lot of shit, man. He says he was going to bring out fire in this fight, and the guy has the power up right here, dude. And if Gastelum gets a little cocky in range, and we've seen this guy eat a lot of damage in his career with these long layoffs, it can add up. I just don't see it. I bet Curtis scorecards equals no action because I don't think the guy does have high volume at all. And I'm not sweating the guy to win by decision because I think the only way that Gastelum can finish him is by submission, and he's not taking Curtis down. So I like my spot here as well.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, a lot of great points. Absolutely. We're in agreement on a lot of stuff. This is good. So the next fight we're going to talk about is Paul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. Brandon, you're up on this one.
Don't have a bet yet, but I think I'm going to bet violence by betting Christian Rodriguez by KO at +950, and then just betting the fight to end by submission. I just feel like that's the best way to discount violence in this spot. Like, we haven't seen Rosas really hit on the feet. Christian Rodriguez is high volume, walks forward, throws hard combinations, mixes to the body, mixes to the head, likes to get his opponents up against the fence when he throws heavy. And we know Rosas' BJJ is better than JSP's. And when you rewatch that fight, man, Christian Rodriguez did have JSP and 2 really bad chokes to the point where he was gargling, which DC was saying. But JSP is JSP. He's going to fight out of that. I don't know how Raul Rosas Jr. deals with that in this position. And I just feel like the amount of spots that Rodriguez was in that fight, I feel like it's just going to catch up to him. Like, maybe even in this fight, like, Raul Rosas is 18, guys. I understand. He's a kid. But he's here for a reason, and his jiu-jitsu is next level, and it's going to be something that's obviously going to be his success rate in the UFC. So, yeah, he has better jiu-jitsu than JSP. He's submission over position as well. And how is he going to look in round 2? How is he going to look in round 3? You know, all this stuff just it adds to violence, and I just really like it, man. I think Rodriguez at KO at plus 950 is just ridiculous because he's going to have to close distance, man. So,
Yeah.
I think this fight's going to be fireworks to open the main card. I like Mushroom. I like every fight on this card. There's not one fight that I hate, even in the women's fights. I like every
fight. They're definitely not the worst fights, the women's fights. Absolutely, I agree. Listen, you made a lot of good points. I get it with this Rosas kid. I get it. You know, he's chain grappler. He's got that. He's an MMA grappler too. At this point, you know, for being such a young kid, he's athletic, he's strong, he's got great top control. He hunts for subs, but like you said, sometimes he's submission over position. I've seen him, you know, fall off people's backs, and you know he's on the ground at that point. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I get the UFC's pushing this kid too, but I don't give a fuck about narrative. I don't give a fuck what the UFC wants. You know, listen. Rodriguez catches his kid the right way, and man, he puts himself in some bad positions as well. Like, I've seen, you know, that dude jump gigs in his last fight, like, what, 2-3 times on him.
Dude, you got taken down by Josh Louis.
Rodriguez got a better choke. So, listen, I know what the UFC's trying. I know who they're pushing here. But, again, another very good prospect on the other side with Christian Rodriguez. I think Christian Rodriguez is going to come out on top of this fight. And he's going to win inside the distance is my call as well. I love it that we're in such agreement. Yeah, I can see it. I get what the UFC's they're trying to push this kid. Dude's fucking 18. I get he's strong, and he's been doing this for a while before he, you know, became. But still, come on, man. I think they're pushing. I'm going to fade him. I'm fading him this time. Maybe not in the future because maybe we're going to figure out exactly because his fucking striking is piss poor. His striking is nothing. Defense is fucking terrible. You know,
yeah.
I mean, just because he's got that fucking Easter Island fucking face. Look, man, you catch him. Look, it got nothing to do with his chin. If you catch him in the back of the fucking ear or something, it has nothing to do with his fucking chin. You know what I'm saying? I like it. So I like him inside the distance as well. Love it.
Dude, when you watch the Contender Series fight and you watch the Mando Gutierrez fight, the first takedown that he went for, dude, he did like a little leap with his hands down. And Gutierrez is not a striker. Like, he wanted to pull guillotine the whole entire fight. Like, if he like jumps in like that and like goes, and he shot really low to the neck too. Like, if he does that and he leaves himself exposed, dude, Rodriguez is gonna check him, man. This guy has power. And
yeah, he does.
He went up in featherweight and he was dealing with JSP, but I wanted to bet him in this spot, man. And then I saw he got taken down by Joshua Williams, and I'm like, no.
I get
There's no fucking way I bet him.
I get it.
Right after that one takedown, I'm like, no, I'm betting violence.
Nice. All right. Moving on up the card, we got Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. I'll start this one off. We're starting off on the Holland side. I mean, he's a good striker. He's got power in his hand. He's got that kung fu style. He's got some accurate strikes as well. Long, rangy, and he's got an 8-inch reach advantage in this spot. He's not that big. He's a decent grappler as well. His wrestling, I think, is improving. Got good jiu-jitsu. He's durable. I don't think he's been even been knocked down in the UFC, this dude. You know, and he's at the right 170 is the right weight class for this guy. And he's got way more experience, I think. So Look, he plays around too much. His fucking fight IQ is kind of terrible. He's not the best off his back because he wants to fucking play off his back all the time, it seems like. And his poor takedown defense doesn't help you. But I don't think he has to worry about takedowns much in this fight on the other side. But, Ponzinibbio was just a striker. He's got power in his hands, volume, pressure. He's got good leg kicks. He uses range well as well. He's fought some decent strikers lately. Some red flags on his side, though. I think since his fight with Leanne, he's just been slowly just fading downward. He moves his head straight back to it. Holland's got an 8-inch reach advantage. So even if he moves his head back, Holland could probably still clip him. And that's the best time to clip him while he's moving his fucking head back. And he's taken a lot of damage lately as well. You know what I'm saying? He got dropped by Morono in round 1 and 2. And then, he gets the knockout or whatever. But and Morono was on 10 days' notice. This all just leads me to the fact that I think that Kevin Holland is going to win this fight, and I think he's going to win it inside the distance. So I like Kevin Holland inside the distance. I think he can do it either way. He's got good sub game, and he can knock it the fuck out. He's got power in his hands. So I like the inside the distance for Kevin Holland. That's going to be one of my official bets for this weekend.
Like it. I bet the fight doesn't go here at -120 pretty early. I just really like it. Both guys have just shown openings, and they both really do leave themselves open to counters. And the one thing that really caught my eye on film is that Santiago really likes to throw a lot of inside leg kicks, and Kevin Holland's likes to switch stances. But man, that right hand and the 8-inch reach advantage. And Ponzinibbio kind of just spams these leg kicks, man. And his chin has been getting checked recently. He's getting up there in age now. He's been fighting in brawls and wars for basically his whole entire life now. And you know what? Kevin Holland, 51% striking defense. Alex Oliveira kind of hurt him on the feet in the first round. Arguably won the first round as well. And Kevin Holland, Tim Means, is a really durable fighter, man. And it was about on the first striking exchange where Kevin Holland rocked him bad and made Tim Means just desperate to wrestle. And Kevin Holland shows he has a very nasty front choke game as well. And Ponzinibbio is always looking for the one-punch knockout as well with his right hand. And Kevin Holland gets cocky, man. He leaves himself open. Ponzinibbio is going to have to close distance. He's really not going to be able to throw a lot of inside leg kicks because the right hand's going to be there for Holland, and it is fast and it is powerful, man. So, yeah, violence again. I just love the fight doesn't go here. And both are pretty durable. But the way that both fight and the way they're both going to be in the pocket and the way how Ponzinibbio has to fight, stylistically, I just love it.
Yeah, that's a great bet. Like you said, there's openings on each side for a finish. Yeah. So that's an absolutely great bet. You got to have a good number, too. You can't beat that. Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right, so moving on with the card, we have Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. You're up, Prop.
Yeah, no bet for me here, but I might be a heavy take, but man, I think Yanez might spark Font, man. I really like this kid Yanez. I understand the competition isn't high, but it's why are we shitting? Oh, I understand why we're shitting on the competition. I understand. Gustavo Lopez, not high-level UFC fighter at all. Tony Kelly, I don't rate high either. Randy Costa, man, beat 2 shades of shit out of him in the first round. Yanez showed a lot of durability in that fight, but it's we're really basing the Randy Costa jab. Randy Costa had a huge reach advantage in that fight and threw about 15 head kicks, and Yanez was just eating them, man. Just literally just eating them. Rob Font's durability, I kind of think, is going away. And he got knocked down 5 times in his last 2 fights. I know we've been hearing it all week. Could arguably, honestly, be 7 times. Yeah, man. Look, Rob Font's a great fighter. I think both are gonna fight very fundamentally, in the boxing range. Both are really good with their hands, but honestly, dude, I think Yanez is better with his hands, and his counter punching is ridiculous, man. His hand speed is ridiculous. I think he might light the body up. I really want to take Yanez round 2 and take him round 3, but the numbers just plus 600. I don't really like plus 1200 round 3. What Daz is saying, I think that's a really good number because dude, we have been seeing it, man. It's like Font also is coming back off a year layoff, and Mushroom. I don't know if Calvin Kattar is still hurt, but that's his main sparring partner. Who else is at that fucking gym that's good enough to spar with him? And especially to fight a boxer like Yanez, it's like, who are you training with to fight this guy? Yanez is legit, man. I think Yanez is going to be in the top 10 after this win, and I think he deserves. He's gonna get a fight. I think he's gonna get this done inside the distance. Honestly, I do.
I love it. That's the side I'm on as well. You know, I'm going to start off on the Font side. Look, he's a technical striker. He does get clean strikes. He's got a really good jab. He's got some volume and pace. He's got 14 UFC fights. He's fought some decent competition, but man, he's pillow-fisted in my opinion. He is starting to really react badly to fucking strikes. And like you said, 5 times in the last 2 fights, and arguably could be 6 or 7, right? And he's taken a lot of fucking damage lately. Like Aldo fucked him up. And I think Vera might have taken this dude's soul. I think Marlon Vera might have taken this dude's soul. Like somewhere in Marlon Vera's house, in his fucking closet, you open it up, you're going to fucking see the fucking soul of fucking Rob Font. I think he's on his way pretty much being washed. I think he's on his way out. I don't think he's ever been KO'd in the UFC. And if that's the case, that's going to change this weekend because on the other side of this fight, excuse me, you have a great boxer, technical, power in his hands, speed. He's got a good right hand too. He gets knockdowns too. He's a good counterpuncher as well. He can throw combos, short, sharp punches. Comes forward, durable. I think he's won his last 10 fights. Kid's on a tear, man. It could be, if you look at it on paper, it might look like it's a step up in competition. But if you take in the way fucking Font's chin is kind of fading and just his overall durability seems to just be fading. And like I said, I think his soul is taken by Vera. The way he reacts to fucking shots, man, it's just, and man, you know, I get it. You know, he's got a good jab, and Yanez doesn't have the best jab defense, but I don't think that jab's going to be enough for this. I think this kid Yanez is going to take it home. I think he's going to win by knockout. Another one of my actual picks for this week. One of my bets is Yanez by knockout.
The number, I don't like the number. That's kind of why I just can't get there. Probably why I'm not going to have a bet on this fight because honestly, this is probably was my hardest fight to cap on the whole entire card. Font is definitely the better technical striker here, and obviously has the experience. And it's just the guy getting knocked down. I understand it's against Aldo and it's against Cheeto, but it's dude, the guy's still getting knocked down 6 fucking times. It don't matter. I understand it's the competition, but dude, the UFC has been building up Yanez, man. He's 6-0 in the UFC, so it's he has to fight someone high level eventually. And this is the time that the UFC's we're giving you a main card in Miami. You're gonna fight Rob Font, and during the face-off today, both were looking at Dana White and said fight of the night. So, it kind of scares me when Font says fight of the night because man, this is Yanez. He's younger. And I think he's built for this shit, man. I really do. He wasn't even fully committed to MMA training before the Gustavo Lopez fight and then fully committed to it. And he's a leader in his camp as well, in his gym. So he's got all the confidence in the world right now, as I kind of think Font's confidence is kind of decreasing. So, yeah, man, I do agree with Yanez, but I just don't like his price here. It's going to be a fun fucking fight, though. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the price isn't the best, but I still think that's what's going to happen in this fight. If I can make any kind of money off it, I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Let's fucking do it. I think we are at the co-main event of the evening. Everybody out there, if you could, smash the like, leave a comment at the end of this video. Once again, make sure you check out my guy Prop. This guy's great. He's making money on a weekly basis. Follow him on Twitter. Check out his YouTube stuff. He just started doing full card breakdowns like this. It's going to be fucking awesome. Very knowledgeable, as you can tell. We're gonna. I think I'm going to start this one off. I guess. So we have Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to start on the Burns side. Look, I think the guy's kind of well-rounded. He's a good striker. He's got power in his hands. He's also, a BJJ world champ. He's got fast hands as well. I think he's got decent fight IQ. I like a lot about this guy. He can grind it out. He can get subs. He looked decent against Chimaev. He looked good against Chimaev. You know what I'm saying? He fucking destroyed Magny, man. I know a lot of people shit on Magny all the time, but I don't think the dude's an easy out. You know what I'm saying? You don't usually see him getting fucking ragdoll in this fashion. He can get caught. He's been knocked down 7 times in the UFC. He's not the best nail. He kind of fucking shells up, and then once you do that to him, it seems like you kind of take his pressure away a little bit. But I still do like a lot on the Burns side. Jorge Masvidal, a guy I've never been impressed with. What is he? A fucking flying knee away from. If he doesn't get a flying knee, where the fuck is he at in his career at this stage? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was like his resurgence over a fucking flying knee, a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Again, he planned. I guess that's what he wanted to do and it happened, but it's still a fucking fluke. That being said, he's still well-rounded. He's a good striker. He's got power in his hands. He leads with kicks, which I think could maybe go into Burns' favor. Masvidal has decent volume as well. He's a good wrestler with 74% takedown defense. And I think the last time he's been subbed was like, fuck, was it 2009?
As a submission defense, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely. But a couple of red flags. I think this might be the last fight of his kind. Again, I don't like to do narratives. I don't like to buy the narratives, but some of these things are actual facts. I mean, look, it could be. I think it's his last fight of the contract. He's mentioned retirement. Listen, fighters don't start mentioning retirement until they start considering retiring. That word doesn't come the fuck out of your mouth if you're in this to win this, and this is what the fuck you want to keep doing. That shit don't even come to your fucking brain. He's got that game-bred fight club, so he's making more. He's making money. And he doesn't have to get his fucking head beat the fuck in to make that kind of money either. Never been super impressed with the guy, like I said. I hope Gilbert listens to his wife and says, use your fucking jiu-jitsu and just gets this guy down, because another one of my official bets is Gilbert Burns by submission. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually gonna kind of like disagree with you here. I don't really think I disagree with you on this card, but I have the fight. I mean, this is the second leg of my parlay with Piper money line. I got fight starts round 2 at -330 and Piper -190. Got the parlay for -102. I think you guys can get like +110 now, so the odds have kind of had one in my favor. Yeah, I think the durability of both guys. I think it's going to be in the striking in the first round. I think Burns is going to keep it on the feet, and obviously that's where Masvidal's live. He likes to use his counter striking, like, in order to like lead to his offense. And this is a 3-round fight only. I think Masvidal's going to I think he's going to come in with the takedown defense and kind of stop the takedowns here. I see a lot of people are betting unders. I think it's more of like Masvidal being washed, but dude, I don't think the guy's washed, man. Like, I understand he's doing all these like promotions for his boxing, like promotion, game bred fighting, but dude, this guy's not a bum. He's got a lot of fights on his resume. Gilbert Burns has been getting like hurt in his fights, and the guy has been knocked out. Dude, I think this fight's gonna go late. I think it's gonna be a brawl on the feet. It could be ballsy, but fight goes. I don't hate that. Like, I think this is the only fight on the main card that possibly could go to decision.
What does that pay? Do you know what that pays?
What?
The fight goes to decision for his fight.
I think it's +110. I think that's the best line. I
Yeah.
might be wrong though. I don't hate it, but
Oh.
even the over 2.5, I think the over 2.5 is close to
Hmm.
money. But I think I don't know. I don't think Burns is gonna get him out of there so easy. I think if it's a first round finish, it's Masvidal.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't think it's Burns. So that's why I really like my fight starts round 2 as a parlay piece, and pretty sure it's minus 280 now if you guys want to parlay that up. So it's like, yeah, both guys haven't ever been finished. The only person who's finished Gilbert Burns in round 1 is Dan Hooker, and he was on a death row weight cut in that fight. So it's like, who else has finished Jorge Masvidal in round 1 at 170? I'm pretty sure nobody.
Right now.
15 fight starts round 2 for Masvidal, and I forgot what it was for Burns, but yeah, I like it. I'm picking the winner on this fight though. I'm gonna pick Burns, but his line, man, his line, it just
Way too wide.
no way, man, no way.
I hear you. All right, looks like we are at the main event of the evening. Alex Pereira against Israel Adesanya. You're up, prop.
Took Pereira, scorecards equals no action, minus 135. I think Izzy's kind of screwed in this spot, man. Like, everyone's saying that Izzy's arguably it's Pereira's 2-1. Guys, if the kickboxing judges gave him a decision back in 2015, and this was way back, and this guy's gotten 2 more wins, and then just knocked him out in the 5th round prior. And Izzy got his wrestling going in round 3 and tried getting it going in round 4. We saw that Pereira's power like goes into the 5th round and goes in late. And he has a decision win from the past. And Izzy's really trying to build up his confidence. And I'm pretty sure that he said to his coaches that I want this. This is my camp. He's like, I'm going to do what I got to do to beat this guy. And he's putting basically his whole life into beating Pereira, as Pereira's like, this isn't even a robbery, man. He's like, I'm coming in to fight you. He's like, this is just another fight for me. And this guy's power is way too much in the pocket. I don't think anybody can stand with this guy in the pocket in this division. I think the only person who has the best shot against him is Whitaker, honestly. And obviously Hamzat if he comes up weight, but Izzy has to walk forward, and that's just not what Izzy likes to do. He has to fight different of how he's been fighting his whole entire career, likes to fight on the outside, likes to throw tons of leg kicks, and he came in wearing a stupid fucking dog collar on his neck today. I don't know, like saying that he's going to dogfight Pereira. Please, I want you to go into boxing range with Pereira. I want you to, because you're going to get knocked the fuck out, and a lot of people are going to get knocked out. This guy's power is no joke. And it carries through 25 minutes. And he didn't train defensive wrestling in his last fight. He only trained it offensively because he thought that he was going to be the one to use it more. He didn't think Adesanya was going to try to wrestle him. And now he knows that Adesanya is going to try to wrestle him here. It's like, dude, I think Izzy's showing desperation. And I think Pereira is going to find him. And Mushroom, it would not shock me if this was inside the first 2 rounds. Adesanya has to fight how he doesn't want to fight, and he's fighting how Pereira wants to fight, and nobody can fight how Pereira wants to fight and being with that power, man. It's unreal.
100%. I love your breakdown. Great. You made a lot of points that are my notes. But I'll go over some stuff that I have here. Look, we know about Alex Pereira. The guy's big, strong, high-level kickboxer, and the power in his hands. He's got kicks. He's got those fucking knees in the clinch, and he hurt Adesanya with a fucking knee. I know Adesanya was real hurt from one of those fucking knees. Look, he already did the big moment. He was already under the legs. Listen, there's way, way more pressure, I think, on Adesanya. There's way more going on in Adesanya's fucking head, man. There has to be. Like, the big moment's over. Pereira already lived through, being under the big lights, and this is his first time. He was fast tracked. What did he do this in 6 or 7 fights? I still think Pereira's going to get him, and I think he's going to catch him again. How the fuck are you going to survive 5 rounds without him? Now you're going to be even more scared of the guy. You were scared of him in the second fight because fucking knocked out. Listen, I bet Israel Adesanya a lot of times And I used to love the fucking look in his eyes, how confident he was when he was fighting. I loved it because I knew he was going to not to do that, or we were going to win by decision. I was going to cash the ticket. But when Pereira was in close with him, he looked fucking scared, man. He looked more scared than I ever seen a guy in my life. And just trying to push his hands down, like not doing anything, not trying to skirt it away. He was trying to push his hands down. As soon as his hands got loose, boop, boop, boop. You know, I mean, like, man, listen, I saw this fucking movie already. You can go fucking watch a movie and you can watch that shit 10 times. You might notice something different in that movie, but the fucking ending's always the same. I saw this fucking movie already. Pereira KO, but I think, like you said, it gets done earlier this time. Absolutely.
You know the worst part? The worst part, too, is Izzy clinched him in the second round, man. When the fuck have we ever seen Israel Adesanya clinch in the second round or even clinch in his career, man? It just shows a lot of desperate things, man, and I can't even believe this guy is a favorite. Obviously, he's going to be a favorite. I almost think in every fight he's in, but, dude, I don't know, man. I think Pereira is going to fuck him up. I really do. I really do.
I agree. Now, listen, Pereira's going to lose the belt the first time he fights a fucking person that can really, really fucking grapple.
Yeah, like Shemaev.
He's done. Because, look, all that power doesn't mean fucking shit. You know what I mean? When you have a good grappler that can control you on the fucking ground and just let the clock tick away, or maybe grab your neck or whatever. You're a kickboxer. You might give up your back trying to get up because you're not used to that sort of shit. Listen, this isn't the time to fade this dude. If anything, it's definitely the time to fade Adesanya in this one. It's got to be in his head. And you made a lot of good points. I think I made a lot of good points. And the thing about that is also the champ who lost their belt in the rematch, they're 4-13. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be 4-14 coming up here because he's not getting his belt back. Not tonight. He's going to have to fight whoever wrestles the belt off the fucking Potan. That's what's going to happen. That's it. And about the wrestle, like you said, he wasn't even preparing for fucking Izzy to shoot on him. Now, since Izzy did shoot on him, I guarantee you he's way more prepared for it this time. And wouldn't be surprised if he got a takedown or something of his own, too. But I think it's just on the feet. It gets Izzy backs up to the cage, and he's fucking done. He's done. Early, like you said. Man, I love it. Listen, we had a bunch of people in the chat, bunch of people we know. Daz, Anthony W., Jared, Justin, all my guys out there, Bill Hudson. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I just want to say thank you to my guest, Brandon. It's been fucking awesome having you on. If you ever want me to do a show with you, let me know. Love to hear full card breakdowns because then I can get to hear what you say about every single fight. He's a sharp dude. Please follow him on Twitter. Please go to his YouTube channel, like and subscribe this video. Brandon, I'm going to see you in the chats everywhere we're at, and I am going to see you on May 6th. We'll DM, we'll talk before that, make some plans. I plan on getting there early. I'm taking a day off of work that day. I'm making a fucking day of it. So we'll be in touch. Anything you want to do in the meantime, you give me a call, DM, whatever. But thank you very much. You guys, please follow this guy. I guess there's only one thing left to say at this point, and that's let's fucking go. Oh, and violence. Brandon, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Thank you, guys. Brandon, if you want to stay on, hold on. I'll talk to you.